Chinese companies may face more trade and investment restrictions in India. New Delhi is reviewing some Chinese investment proposals as tensions with Beijing continue to rise. It's part of India's new policy to prevent opportunistic takeovers during COVID-19. Under the new rules, investments from neighbouring countries need the government's approval to get funding. Around 50 investment proposals by Chinese firms are currently under review. But observers say the border clash between both sides could further delay approvals. China's government and investors have called the policy discriminatory.
Neha Punya joins us live. Neha, what are the chances that Chinese investment proposals will get approved quickly? I mean, can we expect perhaps further restrictions on Chinese trade and investment?
This new rule, Dawn, came into effect in April, but it's unclear how many of these applications. According to India media reports, there are about 40 to 50 applications pending with the Indian Trade Ministry as well as the Commerce Ministry. It's unclear how many of them were submitted in April, or have they been submitted after that violent clash took place in the first part of June. Some government officials quoted by many media reports here suggest that they're being extremely cautious in light of that ongoing border standoff. There has been some movement on that regard. There has been disengagement that's happened in Ladakh now, but it's unclear if that's going to play out in terms of hastening the approval of all of these financing applications. We're given to understand there's a lot of red tape involved, that it's not just the Indian Commerce and Industry Ministries involved, but also there's a lot of communication happening in Beijing as well with the Indian embassy there as well. But a lot of experts say that it's quite likely that this will drag on for a little bit, at least until there's more clarity on whether or not that standoff with China has been completely resolved. We've already seen what the Indian government has done with 59 Chinese apps, banning them on accounts of security and defense threats, and something that China has already protested. But the anti-China sentiment here in India is still very high. You've got India's largest traders body, which represents about 70 million traders, calling for a boycott on 3,000 Chinese goods. Many right-wing groups also saying that the Indian government should perhaps ban Huawei as well from 5G trials. It's understood, analysts say, that the government is playing to that sentiment, but it's unlikely, they say, that this will drag on indefinitely.
And just quickly, Neha, how will this new policy impact India's economy?
It is a concern because Chinese investment in India is more than $20 billion. There are many companies, particularly Zomato, that are already waiting for clearance for funding to the tune of $100 million. 60% of 30 startups with a valuation of more than $1 million are backed by big Chinese firms. And in the current economic environment, where there are many sackings, many companies reducing their operations as well, this will have a huge impact on how Indian companies fare as well.
Many thanks for that. Neha Punya speaking to us from New Delhi.